So coming to the next topic, that is web and XML. So how XML will be helping web. So what are the differences between? So web is nothing but web pages. So here we can talk about HTML and here it is XML. So how they are collaborated with each other and what are the things to be noticed or what are the things to be considered according to that one. So the primary responsibility that coming to the HTML, the primary responsibility of HTML is to render the web content. Rendering is nothing but processing your web pages. So HTML purposes is to render the web content through the browsers. But here rendering is not done. So according to the XML, it is just a simple text. It does not have any rendering feature. So it will not be processed. It is a simple text. Because it is a simple text. Okay. It is a simple text. It does not have any formatting tags. Okay. Now, whenever you come across HTML, we have a display nature. So different tags have different kind of display nature. Let us say that if I use I tag, it will be showing italics. If I use B tag, it is making the text to bold. But here in this XML, displaying of contents does not have any effect on the text. Okay, just if I have a name, it would simply write the name here and we will close the tag with a closing tag name. If it is ID, we will start with it. We will write 24, some ID number will be there, ID will be there. Okay? It does not have any processing related tags. So coming to the another point regarding HTML. HTML is not at all strict about their rules. It is not at all strict. Okay, it is not at all strict. Not strict regarding the rules which have to be followed regarding rules like case sensitive. It is not a case sensitive. Okay, not a case sensitive. So because it is not so much strict on the rules which have to be followed under HTML, whereas XML follows strict rules. Strict rules are followed, either maybe the syntax or DTDs. Regarding DTDs and XSLT. So DTDs are nothing but document type definition. Okay. Definition, which is nothing but deciding how the document should look like. So if it is not looking same when it is transferred, when it is being transferred or processed, then the rules will be broke. Now coming to the XSLT, it is one kind of a transformation of the XML data according to the users. So another important difference what we can see among this is proper nesting of tags. Okay, proper nesting of tags is compulsory according to that. It should follow XML follows XML does not follow proper nesting of tags, and here it follows proper nesting of tags. So something like this. Let us say that if I will show you one thing. So coming to the XML, it follows proper nesting of tags, something like this. We have a name under which we have a first name, where we have first, coming to the last name. Okay. Now coming to the closing of the tag, that is name. Next, let us say that if you are not closing, this is what it look like in XML. So if you are not writing this tag somewhere else here, okay, if this tag is not, the closing tag is compulsory as part of XML. So last name tag is not here. So if you place somewhere else here, it is not accepted as part of XML. Okay, it should be closed somewhere else here itself. So proper nesting of tags should be done. So that is part of the XML. Now coming to the last difference is nothing but case sensitiveness. So what happens here is case sensitiveness is there. HTML is not at all case sensitive. It is not sub. It will. It is not at all strict on the case sensitive nature, whereas XML is very much strict about the case sensitiveness. Now, what is the need of XML in the web or internet? So, because because internet is dealing with so many systems, so our topic is what is the need of XML in web. Okay, what is the use of XML in the web? So web is nothing but collection of different systems and different platforms, different applications. So whenever we are transferring or we are processing some data related to particular application or particular domain, what happens here is that application or the system on which the application is being run, it must understand what is the data is talking about. So to have or to make the system to understand the data which is being transferred or processed on a particular PC, it makes the XML makes you to understand, XML makes the environment to be easy to understand or process the data which is being distributed. Let us say that there are different types of departments are there. So every department has its own way of collecting the data. So different departments are there. Every department has the way data representations will be different. So this is what happens here whenever they are connected to internet. Okay, when they are connected to internet, let us say that this is this it is distributor, let us say that, and this is retail store. This is one example regarding product manufacturing. So this is manufacturing 1 and manufacturing factory 2. So what happens here is whenever this distributor is distributing to the retailer, so he has to understand this is connected to the, so everyone will be formatting its data in XML. So the data which is being distributed over internet, online marketing, let us say that online retail and distributors. So the data which is required by the retailer is not at all required by distributor, or the data which is received by the retailer will not be useful for manufacturer at certain point of time. So the way the data is represented being on the internet are different. So the manufacturer will have a different PC, different platforms are there. So the environment on which the manufacturer is going to understand this data is different when compared to the other manufacturer. So like this, clubbing of all the environments of different platforms, clubbing of all the environments and different types of features, making the internet to happen or the communication to happen. So distributor is communicating with retailer, retailer is communicating with the manufacturer. Like this, the communication will establish in the form of XML data. So the proper data will be used here. Next, we have important topic like, I want to ask one question, whether it is XML is a programming language or a markup language. Anyone can answer, those who are in the class? Can you answer? XML is a markup language or a programming language?
Markup language, sir.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So it is being markup language, so it does not have any kind of a compiler, editor, print interpreters kind of a thing. So the basics of XML will be looking like this. Let me show you some of the basics regarding how XML document will be written. So coming to the declaration of how XML file will look like, with the first starting line itself, you have to note the declaration of XML. Okay, how we are going to say that this is XML document. So the XML, if you open the notepad, so we will write the XML code also in the notepad. So first thing, this will be there, XML version will be there, equals to something 1.0, followed by encoding. Encoding is nothing but the type of text which is used for understanding is this one. So this is the first line which will be written under your XML document page. So in this line, it describes about the important attributes of the file. That is, the line begins with this symbol. That is, the lines begin this one. So it indicates that the following file is XML file. By looking at this, we can know that this is a XML file. Okay, it denotes XML file. Immediately following or immediately followed by the version which is being used. Okay, it is an attribute here. This is an attribute, value contains 1. Whichever version is used, that will be placed here. So the real meaning of this attribute is that how they would be parsed by the browsers or applications. If you want, so next one is the remaining encoding features. These are optional, but what sort of encodings have been used, that will be denoted by UTF. Okay, encoding is an attribute which contains a value of UTF. So it is a one kind of a character set. Okay, it is character set in which the characters will be used. We will use the characters belonging to this category, and we have one more character set category is ASCII. So here we are using UTF. Okay. So why we are writing all this universal? This is universal coding because XML is using one kind of encoding format. So it has to support. Okay. XML has to support all the languages, all the languages which a human can understand as part of machines. So if you use Unicode, this is a Unicode. So how many characters will be available here? This is a Unicode 256 means nearly 65,000, 2 power 16, 2 bytes long. Okay. So UT of 8 is there, UT of 16 is there. So a lot of versions are there. So how the comments will be looking like? So according to the, this is declaration part. Now coming to the comments. Okay, coming to the comments. So something like this will be there. So this is how a comment can be written here. Okay. And we have some kind of a tags are there. So what this is used for commenting, any kind of a explanation should be there. Now, what are the tags which are used here inside the XML? So as we know, there are no predefined tags are available in XML. So user will define his own tags and what are the rules should be followed in defining the tags. So XML tags are basic elements which should make sense. Okay, it should make sense. That is, it should be understandable. So they are looking like some HTML tags also, like starting with this angular bracket and ending with the angular bracket and writing the name of the tag inside it. Okay. So what should be contained inside this? Two angular brackets. Alphabets. Alphabets should be there. Combinations of numerals will be there. And special character also. Okay. Special characters. So one of the important point is a XML tag should not start with a number, numerals. Okay, not start with numerals. Okay, and any quotations, any punctuations like this one. Punctuation A's, B's, like punctuation marks should not be used in the starting of the tags. It will be invalid. Okay. So what are the different types of or different ways of understanding the tags? So let me show you some of the tags which are valid and not valid. XML. XML. What is this? Name is XML space name. So these are all tags. You have to tell me whether they are valid or not. So you observe these four, among these four, which are valid. So this is only the one valid tag because XML should not start with XML as a name in the starting. Okay, and there should not be any space, and it should not start with a number. So these are all invalid. Coming to this one, it is a special character underscore. So it is making the whole string. Okay, two words are joined using a underscore symbol. It is valid in XML. Okay. So the syntax of writing XML tags are, so first one, XML start tag will be there. Start tag plus actual text will be there, plus XML end tag will be there. Okay, XML start tag, actual text, and XML end tag. So let me show you. That is name. This is the start tag, followed by, let us say that we have a name called as Dhoni. So end tag is slash name. So this is valid. This is the syntax which will be followed here. Okay. So this is elements. These are called elements, XML elements. Now coming to there are other types of elements are also possible. Let us say that last name followed by slash. So what do you mean by this? This is an empty element. So these type of elements are also possible in XML. So if they don't have any values, then it can be denoted something like this. So an important topic regarding syllabus is important topic, that is structuring of XML document. Okay, how we are going to structure, how we are going to see in HTML. As we know, there is a predefined structure is there, but how XML structure will be decided. So the process of making the XML file to look like, or certain rules according to its structure, regarding its structure, very much important for us. So it can be done through various techniques. So the structuring of XML file can be done using, first one is DTD, second one is XML schemas. So these are the two things through which we can structure the XML document, because HTML has a predefined structure, but XML does not have. So DTD and XML schema will make the structure of XML. Okay, so they will decide. These two are the different techniques which are used to structure the XML document. So, and both of these techniques will allow you to validate an XML file. Validating means nothing but file follows some rules, and according to the structure, whether it is correct or not, it will check. Okay, so this is about structuring. Now coming to the example. Let me show you one example here. So according to sample XML file, okay, this is a sample XML file. Let me show you here XML, that is question mark XML followed by version equals to 1.0, and followed by encoding equals to, let us say that UTF-8 question mark closed. Okay, this is the first line should be there. Let us say that we have a user defined tag that is like player. Every player will have a name and they have age. Okay, let us show you here. Dhoni is the name. Now coming to the age is 26. Let us say that for assumption, we are writing here age next closing tag. So this XML file is discussing about one of the player and its name and his age. Okay. So this is what happening here. So next we are going to discuss about DTD. So it is nothing but document type definition. Okay, document type definition. So this is the first method of validating the XML document. Okay, validating the XML document is nothing but structuring your XML document. So according to this, let us say that one structure is pre-decided. Let us say that it is dealing about some players. So that should be followed. That will be validated by the document type definition. And there are two categories under this document type definition. Okay. See, the document type definition is divided into two sections. First one is internal DTD and we have external DTD. Okay, there are two types of document type definitions categories are there. First one is internal and second one is external. Okay, what exactly this will be containing? So the developers who have been understood regarding this, there are two ways of, or there are two ways in which a DTD can be understood or used in the XML file. So they have been categorized based on their locations, based on the location where the document type is located or DTD is located. Whether it is internal or external, the rules will be attached to it. So let us come to the internal DTD. So what do you mean by internal DTD? Internal is nothing but XML file will contain some rules, okay, some rules that are part of the XML file itself. Okay, XML file contains some rules that will be inside the document. Let us say that this is XML document. So in this, we will be having something like question mark XML. Okay, XML tag will be there, version is there, encoding is there. So after that, what is the document type? Let us say that how DTD will look like. Let me show you. That is doc type. They are written in capital letters, compulsory. Document type is players. It is talking about players. Okay, it will start with square bracket, and after that, what are the elements which are possible inside it? So under player document type, so what are the elements which are used? If I write something with element, what are the elements here? Name followed by hash PC data. We will discuss what is this. Okay, this is first element. We have one more element, that is, okay, one more element is there, age. Okay, hash PC data. I will discuss about PC data in the later classes. So PC data, and after that we have one more element. If it has some category, let us say that we have element, one more element will be there. Okay, element category. So what is the type of it? Category, PC data. Okay, so this is closed and angle bracket. Okay, this is a starting point. Okay, this is the starting point here, and this is the ending point here. So this is the starting square bracket and this is the closing bracket. So according to player, we are making rules that it should contain name, age, and category. So whenever this XML file is being processed, the DTD will be checking this one, that is whether it contains all the prescribed fields or not. So it will check for those things. So external DTD means what? So this will be saved as one file. Okay, this will be saved as one file, and the extension will be DTD dot DTD ABC. Okay, ABC dot DTD. So whenever it is required, let us say that we will be using one statement like here doc type. Okay, doc type. So player will be there. System. So these are some of the words which are used. So system here ABC dot DTD will be used. So we will not write all these things once again. We will not write all these things once again if it is an external DTD. We will be using this file directly. Okay. So it will be part of our document. Okay. This is all for today. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.